Hello YouTube. This is my backup plan for no racing on Saturday. A while ago I polished all this chrome up but never put it on. But I think what I'm going to do is work on putting the chrome on. Now I probably don't have enough clips because I'm missing clips. So I'm going to do one side and steal clips from the other side so I can finish one side. So let's get started. The thing we have to do is sort chrome out. I have this front piece here. This is the piece for there. I found this piece for there. And I have this piece for back here. So we're missing this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. So let's see if we can go find them. I would think this is one of the fenders. And that's another one. That looks like a rear door opening. Maybe a passenger side rear door opening. So maybe a driver side rear door opening. I think that's probably the passenger side. That's probably the driver's side. This is definitely a top. But it's a top for the passenger side. So do we have, yes, we do have a corresponding one. This is the driver's side. Let's see if we can put these up. We were lucky. This piece of trim had all the bolts and nuts in it, so it's just gonna sit right there. I'm not gonna put the nuts on it yet until I've done the rest of it. On this piece of trim, we're missing two clips. Let's go see if I can rob them from the other side so we can complete this side. This piece actually belongs on the driver's side. This sheet metal screw was screwed in right there. We got a hole right there. It's damaged. I'm not going to put it on. In fact, what I'm going to do is take the passenger side, which seems to be identical, and I'm going to put that on. And there we go. Right off the end. We'll try something different. We're going to line this up to where it's supposed to be and put marks where I need to get the clip to. Then we're going to go over to the workbench and we'll try to do it at the workbench. All right. Okay, let's see if we can gently persuade this stud to move down the clip to the end where we need one. I don't think it's moving. All right. We moved it, and we didn't break it. Now we got to move this one down to here. Okay, our next mark is right there. We got to move this clip all the way down there. Okay. And what I did is I put it in and turned it. There it's in. Now let's see if we can turn it. Yeah, I turn it just like that. Yeah, it works great. Now we got to get this oil off. A little brake clean. We want to get all the brake clean and penetrating oil out of this thing so it doesn't go on the side of the car. Oops. Let's match up the holes. All right. The next piece I found that I'm pretty sure goes right there. This piece wraps around the corner and there's a screw hole there. And we have 2 bolt holes there. I only have 1 anchor bolt. We're going to have to go steal an anchor bolt off the passenger side. There's 2 different size anchors for this piece of trim. This anchor comes right off, so that if we can get this one off, we can slide it in here and then put the big one back in. This one is being a little stubborn. We're going to spray it up. Oh, look at that. Came right out. Let's go mark the locations. Install our cannibalized part here. Whoops. Put our big clip in, and let's go see if it fits on the car. Okay. I think there's no doubt that this piece goes here. We have a dent right there. We do have some clips, but I got no idea how they work. This piece goes right here. And the last piece of the belt line goes there like that. I know the tape is distracting, but I like the chrome, so we're going to do the chrome. Just as a reminder, this is how it looks without chrome. Let's start with this one. Now the easy thing to do would be to flip the front end, but it's on the trailer and the 3-wheelers in front of it, it won't clear. So I'm going to try to just sneak in here and put it together that way. So let's take it off and clean up the threads and get the bolts and the nuts ready. On the studs, and what I'll do is take a little penetrating oil. It works pretty nice. And we clean out the threads. I've run the dye on all the studs, and now I'll put a anti-seize on each one. I know it's messy, but it counts if you ever want to take it apart again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nuts that we need. So let's go put it on the car. Here we go with the first piece of trim I've ever installed. And I guess I'll start at the back here. Slide it in that hole. And that lines up with the edge of the door real nice. So we'll go from there. So there's that hole, there's that hole. I gotta move this stud. There's that hole. Gotta move that one. And they're all in. Now all I gotta do is put nuts on them. Let's try for this back one. Okay, all the nuts are on and finger tight. Let's go back and tighten them up. There's our first piece. Let's wipe some of the fingerprints off of it. There we go. On to the next piece. I say that we work from the top of the door down. This one is a little complicated. We have to take the inside door panel off. We have to take the door handles off. And I'm still kind of waiting on a surprise for here. So let's do this one and this one. Off it comes. This is the second piece of trim ever, and I believe what you have to do is take these clips out and put them in the car and then put the chrome on the clips. I've already put one of these clips on, and it makes me nervous how I put them on. There is an up and a down, and that's the up. The big tabs go into the hole, and we take that, stick that in the hole up there, take a screwdriver, and man, you could make a mess out of your paint and pop the clip in like that. Last clip in the door here, and I have found that what you have to do is hit it with confidence, and it goes in. You got to find the hole and hit it with confidence, and it goes in. If you don't hit it with confidence, it doesn't go in like that. I've seen people snap the chrome on and they have difficulty with it. I'm sure I'm going to have difficulty with it. But what I'm going to do is take a little film of oil on my finger and put it on the contact points of where that chrome is going to go onto the clip, and maybe that'll help me out a little bit. I don't know. Never done this before. I think I'll start in this corner here. This trim piece is held in place by tape, but also bolts. So it's in the right position. So if I butt this up against it, it should end up in the right place. Just for the grins of it, we'll see where it looks. Yeah, that looks real nice. Now, I guess all you do is hit it. Yep, that one in. Now I don't know where the rest of them are. That's easy enough. Look at that. I'm real happy with that. Let's go for the next piece. The clips for this piece of chrome are different from this piece of chrome. Although I think they just sort of go in the same way. I put the first one in and all I did was press it in. Let's see if this next one will go in that same way. You put it in the hole and push and it goes in. kind of the same thing as the top, is you got to do it with confidence that it's going to go in. You don't, no halfway, it's going to go in. Oh, it's always the last one that gives you trouble. Well, we're going to have to persuade that a little harder, I think. Let's see if this will do it. That did it. I don't know if it helped last time or not, but it went on easy last time, so I'm going to do the same thing again. A little film of oil on the edges of each one of these clips. And I guess I line up the back. Make it even. All right, let's start here. There. I like it. Working down, the next piece is this piece. However, it's not that easy. What we have to do is take the door panel off and take the handles off so that we can get to the nuts that hold this piece on. But that's what we're going to do. Let's take the piece off to protect it. To get the door panel off, we have to take the window handle off. There it goes. I heard it. Now I gotta find it. I couldn't find that clip, so I've ordered some new ones. But now we can take these screws out. Now we can take the panel out by sliding it out of the top and then picking it up out of the bottom. We'll do the same thing we did to the trim on the front fender. We'll put a little penetrating oil on these threads, then we'll chase them. We want the nuts to go on real nice. The way this trim goes together is there's a little comb, and they used to have a rubber gasket in there. I don't have any of those anymore, and they don't make them anymore. What they tell you to do is fill it full of caulk. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it on there dry because it's not going to be in the rain. Anyway, this cone goes on that bolt inside the door, and then the nut goes on top of that, and that's what fastens the trim to the door. We'll take and put the trim up in the holes. And tape it into position so it doesn't fall off. And now we get to climb inside the door. We have to put a cone and a nut on the stud. So there's the cone. And there's the nut. Now we got, I think, 5 more to do. Now we can pull the tape off. It's not falling off now. And that's what it looks like. Let's put this door back together. I don't want to strip these screws out, so I'm going to put them back in by hand. Putting the handle on is relatively easy. You put the horseshoe clip inside the handle. You take your friction washer and put that on the handle. You take the handle and orientate it the way you want it in the car. And you hit it. And then it's on. What we have to do now is rob a clip from the back door to put it on the front door. I have yet to take one of these off and not lose the clip, but I was fortunate I found it so we can put the front door back together. So we put this handle on the same way. Horseshoe clip is inside. Friction washer. Put it on the end of the stud where you want it. About like that. And hit it. And we're done. This piece of trim takes the same clips as what this piece of trim took. So I'll get these installed and this piece of chrome put on, and then we'll move on. The next piece of chrome that I have hardware for is this piece right here. This piece and this piece and this piece, I have clips coming, and I have enough clips to do the other side. But that's why I taped it on. If it doesn't get here in time for racing this Saturday, I can take the tape off, take the chrome off that isn't fastened, and we're good to go. Let's get this piece going. I have prepared the studs on the back side of this piece of chrome. On the inside of the car, you get a rubber grommet, and then on top of the rubber grommet gets a washer, and on top of the washer gets a nut. So now we got to put all that in the car. So here we go. The stud moved. Alright, there we go. Now there's a screw that goes in here, and we're going to have to find one. We take this rubber grommet and washer and put it on the stud. We'll stick this awl in the screw hole so it's lined up. And now we'll tighten these bolts. These are all the screws that I found in the bins for the 49 that I tumbled up And then I just sorted them out based on their size. And on this board, it looks like we might have something that works, like right there. Let's try that. There were 2 of these screws in that bag, so maybe that means 1 for each side. Let's see if it fits. That sure does. Look at that. This piece of trim bolts on through the door, so we got to take the door panel off in order to put this piece of trim on. I still haven't gotten the belt line clips, but we can do this. These clips clip on from the outside, so we can take this door apart, put this trim on, put the door back together, and when we get the clips for the belt line, we can put them in also. At the top edge of this door, they must have had a special clip because it's a real small hole. What I'm going to have to do is enlarge that hole a little bit, let this stud go through it, and put a nut on the other side, and then cut the stud off so that the door will close. Now we have to drill this hole out. With the hole enlarged for the stud that we put in and the end of the trim, we can now set the trim in place. Okay, that's right to the edge, right where we want it. And we can put a nut on the end of that stud. We have to reach down inside to get these studs and do it more by feel than anything else. Now we have to cut this nut off so we can close the door. Will the door now close? Yep. This next piece of chrome goes here and is held in by studs. This stud is broken off. We gotta replace it. Let's see if we can knock it out of there. There we go. And now I think I have a survivor clip that'll go right in there. How about that? This piece is now ready to be installed. We've replaced the stud that was broken. I've run a tap down on all the studs, little anti-seize on it, and we have the little cone washers and nuts to put it in the car, and that's where we're going next. We'll slip all the studs in their holes. And we'll start with this bottom one. Okay. So we have to put a cone washer on and then a nut. With this piece being the last piece that's bolted to the inside of this door, we can put the door back together. Door handles go on the same way as they did in the front door. We put the friction washer on. We put the handle in the orientation that we want it. And we get it to start on the spline, and we hit it. And it's on. This is the last piece of chrome on this side of the car, other than the rocker panel, but I don't have the clips for that. And we really don't have the clips for this. Underneath this, there used to be a metal bracket, a little tiny metal bracket that's since rotted away. 70 years have gone by and there aren't anymore. So we can't put it in the way it was originally. Here's an example of the holes that were provided for the metal bracket that ran in here. Here is an example of the hole size that they put in the body for clips. And that's what we're going to have to use is a clip. Now I believe the reason they make that hole so big is so that you can move the clip around and align it up the way you want it. I'm not going to make the hole quite so large. This last hole here is for a stainless steel sheet metal screw that goes through the end of the trim and into the body. Well, I can't put it off any longer. I got to drill holes in the car. Let's now mark the location of where these clips have to go. And we'll start from the hole from the stainless steel screw. And the first one is here. And then there's another one here. We have 7 of these clips to install. And they just clip in. And then we can move them around when we get them over there to get them in the exact position for the hole. 6 more to go. There's another problem with these new clips, is that they're not exactly in the center of the trim. The clip is pushed over to this edge by the spring. So what I did is I tried it both ways on the car to see which way it fit. And it fit best with the spring up and the body tilted this way. So let's go put it on the car now. Oh, we got to put anti-seize on it first. Then we'll put it on the car. Okay, I like it when a plan comes together. There's really 2 fixed points. There's one here at the gap, and there's one down here at the bottom. And I think the important one is the one here at the top. We can drill a new hole in the bottom if we have to. So what I have to do is line this up so it's right at the edge of the gap and put our first nut on. We haven't tightened the trim down yet, but with the gap here at the top, the way we want it, we have to see where the hole ended up in the trim for the stainless steel screw at the bottom. Does the hole line up? We shall see. There's the hole. I guess it lines up. Now we just got to go around and tighten everything up. This piece of chrome goes right there. And what we have to do is drill holes to match these holes because this panel's been replaced. So I have no screw holes to guide me where to put it. When the door is open, I won't have any reference as to where to put this piece of chrome that goes on there somehow. So what I'm going to do is line it up and put a piece of tape on the edge of the chrome. And now when I open the door, I'll know where to put it. I'll line up the piece with our tape line. and we'll drill some holes. This aftermarket body panel must not be exactly correct because the trim doesn't fit exactly. But I think we can pull it in. Here we go. I'd say that matches up pretty good. Our next piece of chrome bridges the gap between the front and the rear door, and it's just through bolted. And that's all there is to that piece. Looks good. What's missing off this trunk? I know, a big Chevrolet emblem. And the second nut goes right there. And now we have an emblem on the back. We're getting to that point. The only trim I haven't put on is the rocker panel, which I don't have the clips for, and the belt line, which I don't have the clips for, and these two pieces, which I have no idea where they go. I think we accomplished the task of having a video to substitute in case it rained, and it did. We got canceled. So I do have a video to substitute. And I was able to demonstrate how to install most of the trim. So if you enjoyed this video, there will be more.